So you, on your computer there in front of you, of course, you have the agenda, and so the first item of business is for me to call the meeting into session. And then the second item of business will be to approve the agenda, so we're looking for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Hearing or seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right, taking us now down to Section 3 of Public Hearing. And 3.1 reads, Required Local Effort Millage Rate, presented by Mrs. Rita Scallon, Chief Financial Officer, and recommended by the Superintendent for approval. And colleagues, I think there in front of you, you have some paperwork that indicates some various items there. And at this juncture, Mrs. Scallon, I'll turn it over to Mr. McInnes, unless you would rather, Mr. McInnes is fine. All right? Mr. McInnes, you're it, sir.
So, Mr. Chairman, the first item is the required local effort millage, and the tentative millage levy for that item is 3.9580 mils. And as we move through, we need a motion on each of these items and to receive public comment.
All right, so that'll be an independent motion for each item. So I'm looking for a motion on item 1.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion?
Public comment.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone here tonight that would wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, is there any discussion by board members?
The only
Mr. Destin?
question I would have is verifying that's the same millage rate as last year or different.
Okay, Mr. Destin, on the, in the booklet that I had provided to y'all, it's actually less than last year. Last year's required local effort was 4.113. This year it's 3.957. And in that packet, there's a 29-year history, and this year is the lowest millage rate that Okaloosa has had in 29 years.
Wow.
Well, taxpayers should be pleased with that, shouldn't they?
Yes, sir.
But
Thank
did
you, Ms.
also,
Gill.
but did also the property value went up, so that kind of, does that kind of offset a little bit?
Well, I mean, what happens is they roll back the millage rate in order to try to get the tax levy the same as it was the prior year at a higher millage rate. However, the taxable value does go up just from new construction, modifications to your home, those kinds of things. But if you're someone who has done nothing to your home, then typically your taxes are not going to go up; they're going to go down. And there's a chart in that booklet that shows that also.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Any more discussion on this particular item? All right, we're good? All right, so all those in favor, please signify. Okay, passes 5-0. All right, moving on to item 2 will be the basic discretionary millage. Mr. McInnes?
Basic discretionary millage, 0.7480 mils.
All right. Is there anyone here tonight that would like to speak to that item? Seeing none, colleagues, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. All right, any discussion?
Just briefly, Rita, all of these are subject to the same kind of rollback provisions where they try to set it where it generates basically the same kind of revenue. Is that correct?
No, sir. Actually, it's the required local effort, which is under the purview of the state,
Set
and they
by
are
the
the
state of
ones
Florida.
that set that. Now, the basic discretionary millage, that millage has not changed for years because you either have to levy that amount or you levy zero. And so for a school district, they pretty much can't levy anything other than the .748,
Okay.
or they lose such a large amount of funds that they would not be able to operate. And then the 2 mil, which used to be 2 mil, however, it's 1.5 mil because, as y'all remember, the legislature shifted a quarter of a mil one year when they were having budgetary woes at the state level, and then the following year they moved another quarter of a mil. So our max on capital outlay is 1.5 mils. And so you either levy that or you have to levy less. And you can do that through board action. However, because of our district and our needs and capital outlay that we do not have enough money, we really don't have an option there.
Thanks for that explanation.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Cal. All right, any other questions or discussion, colleagues? All right, seeing none, we need a motion.
We had a motion, we need
Motion
a
and
vote,
second.
huh?
Yeah, we just need to vote.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. All right, so all in favor, please signify. Motion carries 5-0. All right, Mr. McInnes, I'll turn it over to you.
Capital outlay millage, 1.5000 mills.
All right, so is there anyone here tonight that wishes to speak to that item? All right, seeing none. Colleagues?
I'll move.
Motion by Ms. Evancheck,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right, Mr.
The
McInnes?
total millage levy then, tentative millage levy, 6.2060 mills.
All right, anyone here to speak to that item tonight? Okay, seeing none, need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
Mr. Chairman, the next item then would be the board's adoption of Resolution 19-03, adopting the tentative millage rates for fiscal year 2019-2020.
All right, is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
Then, Mr. Chairman, we move into the district budget items now, once again voting separately on each one. The first item is the general fund tentative budget of $318,454,383.45.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
The next item under the budget is special revenue funds food service, and that is at $17,434,742.95.
Thank you. Anyone here to speak to that item? Seeing none, we need a motion.
I'll move.
Motion by Dr. Kelly,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. Evancheck. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
The next item, special revenue funds federal programs, $18,247,182.36.
Is anyone here tonight to speak to this item? Seeing none, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? All right, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
The next category, debt service fund, $6,405,895.78.
Is there anyone here to speak to this item tonight? Seeing none, need a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Destin,
I'll second.
second by Dr. Kelly. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
The next budget item, capital project funds, $45,915,057.18.
All right, is anyone here to speak to this item tonight? All right, seeing none, then we need a motion.
I'll move it.
Motion by Mr. Destin,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
Then, Mr. Chairman, the total preliminary and tentative budget, $406,457,261.72.
Is there anyone here tonight to speak to this item? All right, since there is no one, colleagues, we need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0.
And the final item tonight, Resolution 19-04, adopting the preliminary and tentative budget for fiscal year 2019-2020.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak to this item tonight? And since there's not, we'll need a motion.
I'll move we approve Resolution 19-04.
Thank you, Mr. Destin. Motion by Mr. Destin,
Second.
second by Mr. Bryant. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor? Motion carries 5-0. All right. There's one matter that I just wanted to make sure I got clarification on, and that would be the capital outlay workshop. I think that there was some discussion that the board wanted to have one of those. Is that correct? Am I correct about that?
Yes.
Okay. So then, Mr. Chambers, if you wish, if we can have Ms. Crawford work with the board members and work with you and your staff to figure out a good time that works for all of us to go ahead and do that then.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, I think that pretty much concludes our business, unless there's anything else. All right, then this meeting is adjourned.
Now, let's